Well, hello. It is your mental performance coach, EPOPS, on a very cold day here on the prairies. I had a really interesting inquiry conversation with somebody who has just decided to invest in mental performance training and coaching and trying to figure out how to get beyond a really challenging situation that they're dealing with. And it's a question I get quite often, so I thought it would be interesting to delve into it a little bit. People quite often contact me not when they're in a good spot and wanting to get better, but rather they contact me when they're in the midst of a challenge. I've lost my confidence, or I am really struggling with trusting myself and my ability to perform. Interestingly, it's very seldom from the people that contact me who exclusively have a lack of trust in their horse, because while it's definitely a mental performance issue, there also might be something else going on that as a performance coach capacity, I'm not really able to speak to. As a riding coach and horse trainer, absolutely, but from the mental performance piece. So the conversation I had for this intake inquiry was, I have lost my trust in my ability. And I said, let's dig into that a little bit more, because one of the things I do as a performance coach with a psychology background is I'm really interested in language, because language, unless we're really intentional and aware of the words we're saying, sometimes the words that come out aren't actually a reflection of what's going on. So I said to this person, can we delve a little deeper into that I've lost my trust piece? And basically what we discovered as we continued with the conversation is it's not a lack of confidence. It's much deeper than that. There's a lot more going on. And this lack of trust is a lack of trust in their ability to make good decisions. And it translates a lot further than just their riding time. So I said to them, our job, when we have trust, we hear from the field of kind of pseudo psychology and pseudo coaching, say 15 affirmations. There is no hard scientific data to support that affirmations work. That's different than a mantra in the moment of competition, in a moment of difficulty. But when you really and truly are dealing with something super pervasive, like a lack of trust, we have more work to do than just coming up with something to say that kind of sparks or initiates a little more action and motivation from habitual practice. It is something that takes a little more work. When we have a lack of trust, from a psychology perspective, we go back and we say, tell me about a time when you were 2 that you felt loved and warm and nurtured and really trusting of everything. And people go, 2? 2? What do you mean 2? Lots of times when you're really, really little, before you have memories of stuff, if you have your needs met regularly, you feel that the world is trustworthy and things are difficult and things are challenging and I have roller coasters and welcome to life. But if you really and truly on a deep level have a hard time trusting yourself, trusting your decisions and your abilities, quite often it goes quite a long way back. So you need to acknowledge that sometimes there's a lot there. If it's just things have been going wrong recently and you're struggling with trusting yourself, then it doesn't usually take quite as long. But regardless, the process is the same. Here's the process. Go do hard things. Yeah, you gotta go do it. You gotta go out and pick something that's challenging, not overwhelming, but challenging. It's hard, and go out and do it. And then when you've done it, you need to take a couple of minutes to celebrate. Don't overdo, but take a couple of minutes to celebrate that success. When we celebrate success, we literally are self-dosing ourselves with the chemical dopamine, which is that motivation, that drive, that go get stuff outside my body, go out, get something outside of me. It's a reward base. And when you do something that's hard, in small steps, a little harder, you are providing yourself with hardcore evidence. I can do that thing. I can do hard things. I am able to trust in my ability to do stuff, which is why it's so incredibly important in the riding realm, in the rest of the world, but from this perspective, in the riding realm, that you've got a knowledgeable, truly knowledgeable, well-rounded coach who doesn't overtax you. You want to be challenged, you want it to be hard, you want to have to work at stuff, you want the fence to have to be put down so you can pick a smarter line and come in with a better balance and all the rest of that, and learn, I did that hard thing. I can trust that I have the skills, that I am capable of doing this. So when it's something big, like I've lost trust, you need to go out and do the hard stuff in small, bite-sized pieces to prove to yourself that you actually are capable of. You don't develop trust from thinking about it. You don't develop it from doing easy things. It's certainly useful to go back and look at stuff you've done in the past, right? There's evidence out behind. But when you're struggling, quite often you have to prove to yourself again, I've still got it. I can still do it. So when it's something really heavy like trust, we sit down and we have a conversation about how am I going to rebuild this sense of my own abilities and my strengths, and I need to create for myself evidence of all of these things. And so that is one of the things that it's super useful for confidence. It's really important when we're reestablishing trust in our ability to make decisions and do the hard things. So I hope this is interesting and useful information for you. I hope that you decide to make an investment in yourself, in your ability to perform mentally, because let's face it, it's anywhere from 50 to 80%, some people say 90% of the game. Knowing what to do, having the tools, and then investing the time and energy to actually do it. The new year is around the corner. Time to craft a new story, learn new things about yourself, and put more tools in your toolbox so you're a better performer. It's mental performance. Wishing you the most awesome ride ahead. This is your really cold mental performance coach, EPOPS.